After an emotional Game 1 victory, it's been a challenging 48 hours for the home team here. They found out before this game that Thatcher Demko is not going to be in the lineup and likely will not be in the lineup for the series. Rick Tocchet is calling him week to week. We understand it's a knee injury. We believe it happened late in the final period of Vancouver's Game 1 victory, really in the final minute. So an unfortunate turn of events, both for Demko and the Canucks. The same knee that kept him out for 5 weeks earlier this season, and he had an MRI yesterday. As a result, Casey DeSmith had to play in this game, and the fans were behind him. They were chanting, "Let's go, Casey," early on, and it didn't go the way he wanted. Less than 3 minutes into this one, he gives up a goal from distance on a deflection. He said he was looking back door for a potential tap-in, didn't see the stick in the lane, and, you know, he's a smaller goalie. He tends to overplay certain things to get where he needs to go, and it didn't work out for him. And then a third Nashville goal, a case of a rebound, and that's an area where DeSmith probably isn't as consistent as Demko is. But Rick Tocchet said earlier in the day that he's not expecting Casey DeSmith to be Thatcher Demko. He just wants him to be Casey. Now, the real issue for the Canucks in this game was what happened at the other end of the ice, and certainly Vancouver's offense did not get it done. They weren't able to get shots through, but you really have to give Nashville a level of credit here. They were completely committed. I had a chance to talk to Barry Trotz briefly after the game, and he said to me that, yeah, we were committed, and when you're as committed as we were, that's when you tend to get some breaks, and they certainly got plenty of those throughout this game, and especially in the third period. Probably the biggest break came late in a period on a power play when Elias Pettersson had a wide open net. Pettersson missed it, fell to his knees afterwards in pure frustration. And this is a player right now that is frustrated. He's not confident. Just one goal now in his last 15 games, including 0 for 2 here. And you just see that when there's an opportunity for him to shoot, he doesn't take the shot. When there's an opportunity for him to pass, maybe he does shoot in that moment and either breaks the stick or the shot goes wide. Rick Tocchet talked after this game about this being a really good lesson for Pettersson to learn right now. Said he's a young guy. He hasn't been through this before. Yes, he's been in a playoff, but that was in the bubble back in 2020. It was very good. But when you don't have fans and you don't have the pressure or the disappointment of a streak of play where you're just not getting things going offensively coming into the playoffs, it's a different story, and he's feeling it right now. Pettersson said after this game that I'm my own worst critic, and I certainly take a lot of blame for this one because he was also responsible for a turnover that led to Nashville's third goal. But he wasn't alone in this game. There were a number of opportunities. Vancouver hit a couple of posts. They missed some wide open nets, and they just couldn't get shots through. We talked about the Nashville shot blocks, and Tocchet still wants to see his team shoot the puck more and be aggressive and be more confident. I asked JT Miller about that, and he just said, I don't want to be shooting into yellow jerseys all game. And sometimes you're going to pass some shots if you know that the outcome is yet another shot block. And Nashville tried heavily to front shots, and Tocchet talked about some strategies they can employ where they can take advantage of things that fronting gives you. So they're going to have to make those adjustments in practice before they get on the plane to Nashville and see if they can find a way to take advantage. But you look at the slap shots that Vancouver tried to attempt and just little tips. Players like Pia Suter and others just missed some glorious opportunities. They just couldn't get it there. And we'll see if they can improve. Power play is another area that Vancouver has to figure it out. In the first period of this game, they had 3 power plays. They got 1 shot on those 3 power plays, just 3 shots on 4 power plays in this game. They're 0 for 6 so far in this series. And the power play was a bit of a problem late in the season. And Vancouver knew that if they were going to have success in this series, that was an area you just have to find a way to figure it out. In the playoffs, so often the margins are decided by special teams. And when you look at the shots, think of Vancouver's 1 goal. It was their 4th line and their 3rd defensive pairing that decided to keep it simple after a good pressure shift, and they got the puck in the net on the short side and really got things into it. But Vancouver's top players simply couldn't get that done. It's not as simple as saying Vancouver's top players need to be better. Vancouver's top players are doing a lot of good things. They're active, they're involved, they're everywhere but the score sheet right now. So much of their process has been positive. Again, talking to JT Miller after this game, he believes that a lot of good things happen in this game and that if they play like that, they're eventually going to get some breaks, and we'll see if they can get that in Nashville. You saw how good Vancouver's crowd was here tonight. Nashville's crowd is going to be equally loud after getting the split coming back home. The 2 days off will probably be a good thing for Vancouver. Quinn Hughes and a number of other top players played heavy minutes tonight, and we'll see if they can get some rest and make some necessary adjustments. But to give you an indication of just how one-sided this game was, especially in the third period, and certainly score effects have something to do with it, Quinn Hughes takes a penalty with 5 minutes to go in the third period. The shot attempts in the third to that point were 37-3 for Vancouver. So not all was lost tonight. They had a push, they had a response, they just couldn't find a way to finish. We'll see if they can get some of those breaks when Game 3 of this series takes place in Nashville.